I was just guided to come and set up the camera. I was walking my dog and Pablo, and I got shown to set up the camera near the water and deliver like a weekly energy tip. Like, I was getting a lot of downloads when I was walking Pablo, and it's been really interesting because I'm still kind of getting over being sick. Excuse me. And it's about 7 p.m. on Sunday night here in Australia. So we're going to be having the Lion's Gate. I don't technically feel it's a portal. Yes, you can believe the numerology and everything, but that is the Gregorian calendar. I'm a big believer though of it's the reality in which you want to believe in, right? So there's a train. Yeah, I was walking Pablo, and I used to do a weekly energy tip on my Facebook page, you know, like when in 2018, 2019, when I first started this. And tonight I got guided to bring it back, but in video form. And the last 2 weeks, almost 2 weeks, tonight will be 2 weeks, I've had head flu and fevers, chills, shakes, vomiting, fainting, like all sorts of different stuff going on. 2 to 3 days in the lead up to coming down with the flu, I was getting severe ascension type symptoms, you know, of sacrum, hip, thigh pain, crown and heart activations, like that burning sensation you all get between your shoulder blades, you know, when you're in the process of clearing and releasing, heart wounding and heart pain, I want to say, you know, like especially from going from Cancer season to Leo season. We are very much metaphysically in this section of the body, and we are hours away from the 8th of August, and I would say the portal energy, if you wanted to call it that. We do have a grand water trine at the moment, which is really lovely in the sky above us. It's been really, especially with the Scorpio moon, where we're coming into what I feel intuitively in my body. So I'm a grid worker predominantly, a psychic channel, and my whole body just gives me messages, and claircognizantly I can just feel what's coming in. And this all began with me noticing this pattern because in December of 2019 is when my insomnia kicked off, and then by March we were in lockdown, and it seems that in August and September of 2019, so, you know, 6 to 9 months out, I was getting messages through my clients' readings at Psychics and Wellbeing Expos, and it was by October. I said to a fellow sister psychic, and I said to her, "Are you getting a bunch of Tower cards and Hermit cards?" And she said, "Yeah." And I said, "Yeah, me too." And then I get nothing, right? And she's like, "Yeah, same." So 9 months out, we all knew in the readings that, you know, we weren't going to be traveling very far. We weren't going to be able to do X, Y, and Z. But anyways, so the reason I bring that up as a preface to what I'm about to say is because this past 2 months, my body intuitively has been feeling something massive coming in again. And if that's the case, I feel it's a 3-month window. I'm feeling October. There's something coming in October. I'm getting chills all up the back of my neck right now as I'm sharing this with you. However, I just wanted to let you know that the ascension symptoms, the Schumann resonance, the sun transiting Sirius at 13 degrees of Cancer was sort of the kickoff phase of this. And then we had the full moon in Capricorn, and now we are leading into this Lionsgate energy. I'm a believer of it. However, I don't agree with the whole lining up of the Gregorian calendar. And if you're still watching, thank you, because I know I'm rambling a little bit. I'm trying to piece it all together. However, I haven't done a share or a channeling or a report of any kind since getting sick. So there's a lot of information that needs to come through, and I really hope that you can bear with me and pick up what I'm putting down. You know what I'm saying? So I feel October is going to be massive. However, what we've been feeling for the last 3 to 6 to 8 weeks is this heart chakra clearing, this sacral wounding, this sacrum activation, this kundalini activation energy again, bringing us back to 2010 traumas, traumas from 15, 16 years ago. And it doesn't have to be dramatic things like actual traumas. However, the cyclical and the cyclical journey and of us having those experiences from those timelines are getting picked back up again. And I feel it's got a lot to do with Saturn retrograding right now. It's got a lot to do with Chiron retrograding right now. And it's got a lot to, like, Saturn retrograding in Aquarius. You know, this is the last retrograde in Aquarius since 2020, when Saturn ingressed Aquarius for the first time. Yeah. And when it retrograded back into Capricorn is when we got put into lockdowns. So this is this Saturn retrograde closeout is a very karmic time for us right now in this Lionsgate energy, because of all these aspects that we are having to the North and South Node, and that North Node being conjunct Uranus right now. We've had Mars transit that, so we had a stellium action going on there, and Mars has come off of that now. However, this is a karmic portal, a karmic window. More so, I feel, than a Lionsgate activation. Like, yes, we all feel that lion sun energy, especially once we leave the first decan of Leo. We are now at 13, 14 degrees of Leo, coming up to 15 degrees of Leo. So we are more in that teenager wanting to get out, wanting to expand more into what makes us feel lighter, what makes us feel happier. And with these activations of the Schumann resonance that have been happening right now in conjunction to the energy of the sun transiting Leo, this has been the sacrum. This has been that union energy, you know, like Leo rules the heart. This has been the closeout and opportunity for closing out and opening new cycles karmically for ourselves on an individual level, but also for ourselves on a relationship level of any kind. Yeah, relationship, platonic energy, platonic and romantic energies. And I feel it in myself and in my own journey, you know, like this last 2 weeks being sick, I was in a fever. I had a fever for like 48 hours, almost 72 hours. And that was a shadow working exercise in itself, you know, and really with the astrological placements at the time, that was when Uranus or Mars joined the Uranus North Node conjunction. So I hope you can hear me over this water. I just thought it was going to be nice and relaxing for you all to like chill. Like, this is Melbourne. That's Melbourne CBD over there. And there's a boat ramp just over there where those other lights are. And then you got Frankston and all that sort of thing out that way. So I like this area of the beach. Like, I come and sit down here a lot. Not necessarily right on the water like this. However, I've just felt it was necessary. It's what I saw in my head. And I don't know if you can see, but we've got 2 black swans off in the distance there. You can't see them on the camera. But black swan medicine is very potent as well, because that's like divine union energy, especially with it being the black swan as well. Like there's an indigenous story as to regards to how the black swans became black. I can't recall it right now, however you might want to look it up and check that out, because black swans, they mate for life just like any other swans. However, this is a very, like, I've looked it up once before, it's a very mystical union, yeah. And I feel that, we were just talking about the sacrum energy and the kundalini energy, that we are going to be really, I want to say, grounding it down. You know, it's going to be really highlighting to us what needs to shift in our reality. So I can't digress, because I was in channeling before and I don't know what I was saying earlier, so I hope that it served. But I know I interrupted myself when I saw the swans. I just wanted to make this quick video to let you all know that, you know, like this preparation energy, we have to look at it as exactly that. No matter what we're going through at this time, on a 3D level, a 5D level, 12D level and above, no matter which aspect of our lives we look at, the journey is learning how to not just, I don't want to say balance, because there's, you know, you don't really balance. You've got to sublimate and bring in together and work in unification, and have all of these energies working simultaneously, cohesively and coherently together within ourselves. And this is why it feels so tricky. This is why that's what I was talking about, the fever that I had and everything. Well, this brought up a lot of psychosis energy for me. And with the astrology that was happening at the time, and the Schumann resonance kicking off as well before and leading into this Lion's Gate, quote unquote Lion's Gate energy, okay, it had me questioning my sanity. And as a shamanic medicine woman, like, I feel very humbled when I even refer to myself to that as that. However, I live a very shamanic way of thinking and a way of being, and I feel every single thing has a message for us in this universe. Every single occurrence, experience, everything is a message if we're open to receiving it and to interpreting it, you know. And I feel with me being so holistic in this approach, I'm just going to wait for this train to go by, because the water's also picking up, which I find very interesting. There's a massive influx of energy coming in. Maybe it's because I'm channeling, because I don't see any boats out there. And yeah, I'm just going to let this, thank you Grandmother Water, I love you. And the train as well. I have a friend who once said that was like 10th dimensional healing to them. Like, yeah, so this water, I don't know where the boats are there's no boats. I can't see any boats out there. She's just coming in to talk to us a little bit stronger, getting a message across, maybe to trust our own intuitive waters and our own flow of what's coming in for us. Yeah, like, this is what I was talking about, like the shamanic way of living it's holistic, and it's a macro holistic approach to everything of being in oneness, okay, like the golden web of life. And this leads me back to being a grid worker, and why and how I'm able to feel into things that are coming down the pipeline toward us. I notice when big spikes of energy are coming in, not just from the astrology or from the Schumann resonance or solar flares and all that sort of business, energetically I will feel it, and my body, I'll get insomnia, or I'll get very disturbed, disrupted sleep patterns. I'll be anxious for no reason at all. I can just feel the energy, and I have to like channel that energy and transmute that energy and release that energy. But I will be feeling it for, you know, anywhere between 3 to 9 months, 3, 6 or 9 months in advance, depending on what the event is. And pardon me, I am, thank you Grandmother Water, when I am speaking of these levels of psychosis, or what I deem, like if we had to put a Western label on it, we would call it psychosis, right? Or mania. Thank you, Grandmother Water. I feel like she's agreeing with me when I'm speaking. It's so beautiful. We walk a very fine line between being psychic channels and in tune as fuck, or lunacy and psychosis. And what's the Joseph Campbell quote says that, you know, the mystic swims with delight in the waters that will drown the psychotic. Something to that effect. I think I've actually transposed that quote and said it in reversed, but you get the point. It's like learning how to dance with the energies that come in, learning how to allow the energy to go through you in an observation mode, and bringing it back to being holistic as, like I'm holistic as in my practices, always have been since word go of reawakening, yeah? Like I'm gonna look to Western philosophies and, oh no! Maybe that's a warning, yeah? Maybe that's a synchronicity for somebody to be like, yeah, you need to have your mental health checked right now, you know, and you need to go and see a doctor right now, or you need to reassess your medication levels with your doctor right now, or something like that, because like that car alarm was pretty abrupt on the timing of which it interrupted this video. So I'm just checking the time now. It's like almost 17 minutes. I don't want this to go too much longer. However, it is imperative when we are on this spiritual journey to really be grounded in our awarenesses on across all planes of consciousness. Yeah, like when I came down with the flu, it started off with a headache and, you know, throbbing behind the eyeballs and in the ears and things like this. And, you know, like I even had, as a joke, had a conversation in the mirror, like made a skit out of it, of like, oh, it's just ascension symptoms. And it's like, no, dickhead, this is more than ascension symptoms. Your vessel is actually fucking sick, asking for a rest right now. Like, we can't just like be living in an either or mentality. Like, you know, we're physical meat suits, spirits and souls in a physical meat suit on a physical plane. Yeah, and it's our consciousness that exists in the 5D and above planes. So if we don't like address every single level and every single plane of existence within our vessel, one part of our meat suit, one part of our spirit or our soul, there's going to be an element that suffers if we ignore it. So we have to be holistic as possible when we are, like when our vessels are screaming out for help or for a rest, like it was with my case, you know. And the thing is, like, I could have just said, oh yeah, it's just you know, it's just ascension symptoms, and wrote it off like that. However, when I can feel a flu attacking my heart, attacking my liver, my small intestine, I could feel spikes, I could see what I was feeling in my mind's eye, and it looked like spikes and shards of white diamond light energy going into different organs in my body. And I've never had my heart attacked like that, like through being sick. And I could feel it when it went into my small intestine and my liver and my stomach, and it was just very, very intense. So I feel like the message for this weekly energy tip, let's call it that, right, the new weekly energy tip video, is pay attention and be realistic when I say be realistic, I mean be smart. Yeah, like, yes, you're ascending. Yes, there are such things as ascension symptoms and everything like that. However, go and see somebody when you know that you need to, you know, or go and get some herbs, some natural medicines, things like this. And pay attention to what your vessel is asking for. And I have done this as of today because I've been smoking again since February of this year. And you know, I've quit a couple of times before that. I quit in 2020 for 265 days, and then I quit again in October of last year for a few months. Anyways, my body has been screaming at me because of these heart and lungs, and the lungs store grief, the heart energy of Cancer and Leo energies coming back to back onto one another with the sun transiting the sky right now in these zodiacs. It's like I have been dealing with grief, I have been dealing with heartbreak, I have been dealing with loss, and it's on a multi-fractaled level of people and persons in my immediate reality to people and persons in past life realities, peoples and persons in, you know, previous timelines of like up to 10-15 years ago. And the way in which that I view this journey, and the way in which that I view the energies that I tune into every single day, is what am I being shown right now? What am I to learn from? What am I to gain from having this experience? What am I meant to be looking at within myself right now that is causing whatever influx of energy? So if I'm sitting there questioning my sanity, yeah, like I was when I was feverish and really wanting to reconnect with somebody whom we were having some space. And anyways, I was like, one, why do I want to reach out to that person? Two, why do I feel like I'm losing my fucking mind right now? And in all honesty, since my 20s, it has been one of my biggest fears is of actually going crazy and losing my mind. And I still haven't thought of where that has even incepted from. I feel it's more to do with past life stuff, and also of watching an ex go through drug-induced psychosis and putting himself into a mental hospital in my early 20s. Like, I feel that's got a lot to do with it as well. And I think that's why, like, I don't want to sound like conceited or, you know, from an egoic standpoint right now. However, I feel that's why it makes me the healer that I am and the medicine woman that I am, is because I am going to look at every single avenue and every single perspective outside of whichever niche or box or labels or ideologies people are presenting me to. I'm always going to be looking from an even further outside of perspective than what I'm being presented with. And I feel that is the key for us all into the next week to 10 to 15 days from the date of this video, which is the 7th of August. So for the next 7 to 15 days, I'm going to put out another report in a week as well. However, this needed to get out today, and I need you to be really well attuned and discerning with what is your spiritual ascension symptoms, what is real, like what is a physical ailment or something that your body is trying to bring your attention to. Yeah. And also to keep a check on your mental health as well at this time, because, you know, we are still in the fallout period, I want to say. Like, we're in the middle of, but we're also in the fallout period of this whole scamdemic, right? This is fucked with people on so many different levels. You know, emotionally, psychologically, spiritually, financially, all the rest of it, yeah. And it's like we've got a little bit of fucking whiplash, or we've got a bit of concussion going on from the barrage of bullshit that the globe was fed over the last 2 years, you know. And I feel that a lot of us are sort of coming out of that Stockholm syndrome kind of like, holy fuck, like, did that last 2 years really just happen, and now we're just expected to go along and focus on whichever other fucking carrot on a stick they want us to. I feel like I'm just going to get some confirmation on why this is coming through right now, so just bear with me a moment. Oh yeah, okay, thank you. So it's like similar, they're just telling me right now, you got to look at it from an abuse perspective, like of when you've come out of an abusive relationship or an abusive situation or a trauma-based situation, you're in that whiplash stage, you're in that sort of concussion stage of, fuck, did I just survive that? And this is where now, with all of these other energies compounding it, with the Lionsgate portal energy, okay, with the 8-8 portal, the Gregorian calendar, mind you, 8-8 portal, you know, and the Schumann resonance that is really unrelenting for very many of us in its effects and its spikes over the last 2 to 3 months especially. Can you bring it back, please? I keep getting sidetracked, guys, sorry, and I didn't want this to be too long either. How long has it gone for? 26 minutes? I'll wrap it up soon. Thank you so much for still being here and listening, and if you're still like following me along, I really appreciate it. I hope to be a little bit more succinct and a little bit more like, here's the message, but as I said, I haven't channeled for anybody in nearly 2 weeks, like or got any reports out of any kind, and there's just a lot of information to come through. So I want you to give yourself the space, is what their point is right now, of mentioning how it's like you feel like you're in a bit of a concussion energy. It's like whiplash energy. So just be really discerning with what is going on for you personally. Don't get swept up in the hype. Don't get too enthralled in other people's business, including the world, like right now, you know, like really go within your own heart, go within your own vessel and speak to your own vessel, ask your own vessel for the wisdom and medicine that you require at this time, and don't rely so heavily on the external, because it is your internal reality which you get to decide and create your external reality from, and how you will be experiencing that, right? So I want you to take your power back in this instance for this, especially over the next week. Like, you know, are you going to repeat an old timeline, or are you going to step forward into something that may or may not be unknown to you, yet you're going to live in negative capability? You're going to step forward and say, you know what, fuck it, I'm not repeating the last X amount of years of my life, or I'm not going to be repeating this cycle again. This is what I've seen for my life way back when. This is what my heart desired for my life way back then, way back when, and this is what I'm going to create for myself going forward. That this, you know, failure is not a fucking option. This is what I want for my life, so this is what I'm going to create for my life. And so really, like, get discerning on distractions that come into your life. Who is supporting you in your physical reality? Who is there only trying to pull you from your path or feed off your energy or things like that, you know? Like, and when reconnecting with people, as I did with my friend, like just recently, I was very, very discerning of why and when I reconnected with them, because I, for one, am so sensitive to energy in myself. It's like, well, I don't want to be reconnecting with my friend like if I'm fucking pulling on their energy, you know? I want to be in a space where it's like, you know what, I would really love to reconnect, but, you know, it was an emergency in which I reconnected with them. However, I did so from a more conscious space than had I reconnected with them when I was in my fever, like I wanted to, and you know, from that scattered space. Does that make sense? So be discerning with who and why you want to reconnect with certain people, and also certain things as well, because I feel there's a resurgence of distractions such as games, habits that you used to get into, that you're into in 2014, 2012, 2013 is coming through right now. There are habits and things that, and distractions, like things that were eating up and wasting your energy that you used to do a lot of then, that are coming back into your reality right now, and you're doing them being like, yo, I haven't played this in such a done this thing in such a long time or played this game in such a long time, and then you're like, fuck, well, where was I in my mental state? Where was I in my spiritual state, emotional body state, when I was doing these games, or when I was doing this distraction, when I was reconnecting with these people? Like, what was your state of being then compared to what it is now? And what is that link? What is making you go back to that, especially for things that were based in 2011, 2012, 2013, things like that you're returning to? Be really discerning with why you're reconnecting with that energy, and also ask yourself, like, what messages do you have for me from this time? So this is an incredibly long video, 30 minutes. If you're still here watching and listening, thank you so much for being here. And I really do hope that this served and gave you perhaps a different perspective, a fresher outlook, a new way of looking at things in your reality to help you make this journey a little bit easier on yourself, you know. And I'm a little bit snotty and a little bit blocked up in the nose still, so my voice will change over the course of the next couple of weeks when you get these videos. So yeah, just letting you know as well that this isn't my normal voice. And yeah, thank you so much for watching. Please like, share, subscribe, and if you want one-on-one sessions with me, check out the description box below, and we can get that organized. I do astrology natal charts, distant healings, tarot readings, soul coaching basically is what I do. So I love you all so much, family. I hope you've enjoyed the water and the lights and the sky. Enjoy this portal energy, whatever you make of it. Trust what your body feels, trust what your body needs. Listen to your higher discernment and be holistic as fuck in this journey to be successful as fuck in this journey. I love you all so much. Peace out. Bye.